It all started on November 6, 2021, when John Roblox uploaded an Arena Tower Defense video. And after this, Arena Tower Defense boomed in players, easily reaching over 2K active players. And after this, many YouTubers hopped on the Arena trend, or it was called Rubies Tower Defense before this, but after that it rebranded to Arena. But besides that, many YouTubers upload videos about Arena Tower Defense and put in around hundreds of thousands of views, not only on one video, but across the platform. So what happened to Arena Tower Defense? A game that easily could pull in 2K players, and now it can barely hold 194 players. And that's what we're going to talk about. This video is going to be divided into 4 main sections about why Arena Tower Defense died, and also I got lazy and I hate playing Arena. Like, it's so boring. Show I'm going to slap on some SCPSL footage in the background. So yeah, but that's besides the point. So the 4 sections of this video is going to be slow update, repetitive game design, and lack of community. So let's start with the obvious slow updates. Okay, it's no secret, to keep a game alive, you need to keep updating the game, keep it fresh, keep it new, and for a time, Arena Tower Defense did do this. It took assets from its predecessor, Arena Ballistic, to add it to Arena Tower Defense, and this worked for a while until I would say about like around May 2022. I think Ballistic assets were completely stripped of, and there was nothing else to really add to Arena. Everything that would be added to Arena would need to be freshly coded and brand new, so that would just add to the update times. So Arena Tower Defense did, yes, I won't argue with this, Arena Tower Defense did start off with a really strong update schedule, but after Ballistic got, pretty much eaten alive by, its assets, there was not much to add to the game that would, be in a fashionly manner, because Arena Tower Defense really is run by one dev. There is contributors, but, it is all by Billy B. So adding new and fresh content as a solo dev is pretty hard to do. But yeah, I don't really take a solo dev as an excuse. I know exams, real life exists. I completely understand that. But if you could give 200k Robux to, as a giveaway, which build your community. We'll talk about community later. But yeah, build your community. But if you really can spend that much money on a giveaway that was pretty much rigged, but we'll talk about that maybe in a future video. That was pretty much rigged. You could probably hire devs. And I got some foresight before recording this video from a fellow Arena YouTuber named Jet, and he said it's hard to find someone to fit your criteria. But honestly, I think that's a really weak defense, because that's what coders are. You give them information, they code, you give them builders, you ask builders to build stuff and maybe concept images. It is something that all game studios have to do, and that's what TDS does. They have a whole community team, but again, community is its own section, so we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's kind of what happened to the Arena Tower Defense updates and why it slowed down in the recent months. Because, Ballistic, after its assets were eaten alive by Arena Tower Defense, there was not much to add new in a, timely fashion and a fast fashion. Arena Tower Defense has this problem of game loop. Its game loop is really bad. One of the worst ones I've seen in Tower Defense history, only rivaled by Tower Battles. But the game is so easy, and it's so grindable in such a little time that you can win without even being at your computer. Well, technically, you can go AFK, endless, boom, get the best towers, win Grandmaster, boom, and also go AFK with Reaper, then get 10 times more XP because Reaper is broken and busted for endless mode, and you win. That's basically the gameplay loop. In Tower Defense Simulator, you need to lose over and over and over again, over 3 hours of losing if you're playing solo. And to gain coins faster, you have to get better and better towers, which cost more and more coins. And also, it's very hard to speedrun at the start of the game. Same with Geometry Tower Defense. You have to lose over and over again until you get, better towers, and it has a pretty solid gameplay loop. And that is why Geometry succeeds and Arena dies. Its gameplay loop is 10 times better. And Arena Tower Defense, it's way too late to fix this. So Arena Tower Defense, if it doesn't have a game rework, it will die, sadly. And it is already on a declining rate of dying, so I'm not too worried about, this video being outdated or something. But if you look at the statistics, like the actual ones, Arena is dying, so yeah. But yeah, the gameplay loop for Arena is really bad, and also half of it is just being half of it is kind of copied from Balloon's Tower Defense, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of the assets and ideas are copied from Arena Tower Defense, so I am not too worried about that. So, after the gameplay loop is over, there's no reason to play Arena Tower Defense. The events are practically the same, and there's one thing that should have really went into the update things, but it was really slow update, so not really. But anyways, what really should went in the updates is that Arena Tower Defense updates not only take a while, but are relatively the same and give very little rewards, such as the winter event, one of the biggest quote-unquote events that was supposed to be in Arena Tower Defense. It was legit the exact same, just with a difficulty spike that was practically unfair and unfun to play, which is not where I know I don't mean to sound like a hypocrite and say, oh yeah, but I want the game to be harder. Then when the game is harder, I'm gonna be like, oh crap, man, oh shoot, dude, this game sucked. I don't mean to be that guy, but Arena Tower Defense made a game mode that was just not enjoyable to play at all, and so it was boring. But what did you get for beating that insane and hard event tower? No. Cool special perks? No. You just, congratulations, just got useless EP or whatever event points to buy you skins or get you skins, and it was really not a fun gameplay loop, and it was pretty useless. So yeah, that gameplay loop didn't, events don't save the gameplay loop. And not only the events are relatively the same, like they follow this criteria: wave 40 boss, wave 60 boss, wave 80 boss, wave 100. So there's no unique variety in the game, and it is quite sad to see that in Arena. And unless Arena gets a full gosh dang rework of the entire game, Arena will forever be like this, so that is really sad to see. Okay, this one's kind of my opinion, but also is a, fair opinion. So this is also mainly on the YouTube scene. Arena Tower Defense has a very weak YouTube YouTube community. Let's just call it that, because I have no better name. Let's get real. But if you look at the Arena Tower Defense YouTube community and look at Geo or Tower Defense, there is content everywhere about like other games, like challenges, everything else, like all of those stuff. Then you have Arena Tower Defense. Here's a strategy. That's a strategy. It's a strategy, and you look at geometry. There's challenges. There's everything. Solo X round videos. Everything else. It's not strategies. It's not old strategies, to be specific. Tower Defense, there's a lot of strategies compared to Geo, but it has in general content with like only tower challenges and everything else. And let's look at Arena. Oh crap! I'm the only one that posts on this game. Oh gosh. Anyways, all jokes aside, I'm one of the only persons that really mainstreams this game. Well, I used to. Now I do a lot of in general and other tower defense content now. But Arena Tower Defense it has a very weak YouTube community, and even if someone got to my level somehow, it's not gonna work out, because like if you join the Arena Dev Discord, right, after you do that, you get the partner role, which I was the only person to have in the gosh dang planet to ever have, right? And I couldn't mention a single bit of my video. I said if I would say my name, I would get banned. If I thanked a fan, I would get banned or something. The YouTube community was very weak, and even if you got to the top ranks to be recognized as one, you would get shut out by the Arena Tower Defense Discord moderators. And let's look at Geo Tower Defense Simulator. They have separate channels. In fact, they have tags, content creator tags. separate channels in their Discord or tech channels for YouTubers where anyone can post, or you need the role to post. But when you look at Arena, nope. Even if you got to a level of arena fame, or whatever you want to call it, you would get shut out. Like, there's no way to grow. It would just be on you to grow. You would need to grow solo. And yeah, it really sucks for that. And I wish Arena would fix that. And the community is very toxic, but honestly, every tower defense, not simulator, every tower defense game has, some bad apples in the community, so I won't pinpoint that on Arena. But it's sad to see Arena have such a weak YouTube presence, and also just have a not really solid community. It's really sad to see, so yeah, that pretty much ends this segment. Okay, if you had a keen ear, you would be noticing I've been comparing Arena Tower Defense to other games. The TDS one, yeah, I kind of think that's kind of harsh, but Geometry, that one is completely fair, because they're relatively small games and not on the caliber of Tower Defense Simulator, but obviously Geo and Arena are, on the same caliber of stuff and player base, but there is also one game that succeeded more than the other, obviously Geometry and TDS, and Arena has kind of been left in the dust, and the competition really is quite simple. Like, why would I play this game that would give me only like 5 hours of playtime, and honestly I could beat the game with only one tower? So why would I even play it in the game that gets barely any updates when TDS got some major updates and Geometry got an Easter event? Well, Arena Arena got a hint of a new tower, but honestly, this won't this won't do. On average, it takes Arena 3 months to get one update out. Not even major. If we're talking major, it takes Arena like 6 months to get a major update out on average. And yeah, that's not really good game design. While TDS is gonna get reworked, Geometry is gonna get new GUI, and Arena is just gonna get a new tower. Like, what is that gonna do? I mean, yeah, it may be cool and all, but like, who cares? Who cares? So yeah, the competition for Arena is basically no competition at all, because Arena is like so small on the TD game list that if I had to rank it on a tier list, hint of the next video, if I would have to give it a tier list, it would probably be F or something. It's just really unreliable, and its updates are mid. But yeah, let's go on to our final segment, and also yeah, I want to talk about the few side notes that weren't really mentioned in the video. So there's obviously the big thing about balance. I already made like 18 videos about Arena Tower Defense balance. So if you're really that interested in learning about balance, go watch one of my 18 videos about it. But what I really say about the Arena balance is that you could beat the hardest mode with the beginner towers, like legit level 0 towers. Like, you don't have to do anything else. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I know Arena is supposed to get a quote-unquote major update, which, fun fact, did take like 6 months and like 15 days to happen, but it's not out as we currently speak, so it may be 8 months, or I mean 7, so who knows. And it is hinting at a new tower, a new GUI, and new enemies, but come here. That won't save the game. I honestly don't really care about like what this is gonna bring new. Like, it's just what's the point? Like the new tower is gonna be as cheap as anyone else, because you can grind like 1,000 million things, and like in the 3-hour gameplay session where you don't even have to be there, just go endless, and then you basically can buy all the tires in the game, and that's pretty. That kind of goes into the game loop thingamajig, and I also do not like endless mode, and I also recommend to delete it. But Billy B was like, nah, this is fine. But yeah, besides that, that's really what I kind of wanted to add just the balance is really bad, and you know, it's just Arena takes forever to update, and we already talked about that. So yeah, and the conclusion is Arena is a good game. The quality is there. I guess you can you could say it is there, but yeah, it's sad to see this game die. And I know if you look at Arena Tower Defense player base right now, or player count right now, it may say 450, but if you go to the actual statistics, all of those are new players, right? And then they leave after. You can go check it on some website. I know, yeah, you can, but like, you know, it's there. So yeah. So, yeah, I hope Arena can get better, but for now, it is a dead game in my definition. Because, like, if you go to 2.2k players daily, and, like, if we're talking a realistic amount, 1k per day, and Tower Defense, for reference, has 9k per day, so Arena technically was kind of competing with TDS. So, yeah, if you go to that per day to only 165 a month or a day, it is quite sad to see. But yeah, hopefully Arena gets better, like I said, and yeah. And for those who think I'm gonna make an Arena video, you're absolutely right. I actually will when the new update's out. So yeah, dude, some things will never change, but there's also one side note I want to add. It's not really about the game, but I owe a lot of my success to Arena, and I'm forever thankful for that, because, you know, I would not be known if it wasn't for Arena. But, you know, Dangler got to switch games somehow, so yeah, I kind of did. Dang it, after selling out for Arena Tower Defense. For TDS, and anyways, I'm extending this way too long. Some things never change. I'll catch you guys in the next video.